Ooh, spooky week. Yeah, okay. Castle of Dark Illusions is best known for its use by PaniK, a monster that shrouds the field in darkness. The Pharaoh overcomes it by launching his dragon champion into it via Catapult Turtle, but this is the same guy who attacked the moon, so gotta love Duelist Kingdom. But the castle also has another unique quality, one that is relevant to a handful of PaniK's monsters and others from the early days of the game, and that is its whimsical attack and defense values. So if the darkness isn't enough to scare you, maybe math will? The premise of this deck is retraining PaniK's monsters to reenact his strategy of shrouding the field in darkness, i.e. making it difficult for the opponent to go after your monsters while empowering your creatures of the dark. As such, and similar to how Konami's retrain of Labyrinth Wall was a field spell, Castle of Dark Illusions 2 will be retrained into a field spell that serves as the focal point of the deck. I'm also using this archetype as an opportunity to boost support for the newest type of the game, Illusions. This will be a full-fledged illusion archetype, fitting as PaniK's entire scare tactic MO was all just an illusion. In addition to being a heavy illusion deck, this is also going to be a pretty simple archetype where most of the cards do one, maybe two things, and that starts off with the retrain of Reaper of the Cards, Reaper of Darkness. So this is a card that has that illusion effect where if it battles a monster, neither can be destroyed by that battle. It also has the effect where if you control Kingdom of Illusions, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, you cannot special summon monsters from your hand for the rest of the turn. So this is an effect that the next three monsters will share as well, since they are all level 5s. And when this card is summoned, you can target one spell or trap your opponent controls, destroy it, then destroy all cards with that name in both players' hands and main decks. Next up is Darkness Barracks, has the same illusion effect as well as the special summoning effect, and then at the end of the damage step, if this card battled an opponent's monster, you can destroy monsters your opponent controls up to the number of illusion monsters you control. So since illusion monsters can destroy by battle, this guy allows you a way to get rid of your opponent's monsters. Next is Darkness Chimera. The retrain of Dark Chimera has the illusion effect as well as the special summoning effect. And then at the end of the damage step, if this guy battles an opponent's monster, you can inflict damage to your opponent equal to half the original attack of that monster that it battled, then negate that monster's effects until the end of the next turn. And then finally, for the main deck, we have Metal Guardian of Darkness. Again, illusion effect, special summoning effect, and then finally, if he is summoned, until the end of the next turn, Kingdom of Illusions you currently control cannot be targeted or destroyed by card effects. And by now, you've probably correctly assumed that Kingdom of Illusions is the retrain of the Castle of Dark Illusions that we'll get to when we get to the spells. But before we do, we have the Xyz of the bunch, the Yami Makai, the King of Darkness. This guy takes 2 level 5 illusion monsters, has that illusion effect, and when he's Xyz summoned, you can set one spell or trap that mentions Kingdom of Illusions directly from your deck, and if you do, it can be activated that turn. It also has the additional effect where you can detach a material from this card, and if you do, for the rest of the turn, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck, but it also allows you to special summon one illusion monster from your deck, but it gets returned to your hand during the end phase. You can only use each effective King of Darkness once per turn. And that brings us to the Kingdom of Illusions, the field spell retrain of the castle. This has a few different continuous effects, first of which is that you can only control illusion monsters. Now that may seem limiting considering that illusion monsters aren't very expensive, but the rest of this card's effects makes it well worth it, because B, your opponent cannot target illusion monsters you control for attacks or with card effects. So again, kind of mimicking that shrouding of darkness that PaniK used to protect his monsters. C, your opponent takes the same battle damage that you take from battles involving your illusion monsters. So since illusion monsters can't destroy monsters by battle, you can at least ram yours into your opponents to inflict some damage to them as well. And then finally, if this card is destroyed, send all monsters you control to the grave, similar to how when Yugi destroyed the castle, all of PaniK's monsters were destroyed. The next spell is the Searcher of the deck, the Flotation Ring. It allows you to add one Kingdom of Illusions or one card that mentions it from your deck to your hand, so that's basically any of the cards being shown here, and has a graveyard effect as well, where if a Kingdom of Illusions you control would be destroyed by card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. So this card basically functions as the tune bookmark of the deck. The traps start off with a continuous Dark Silent Burn, which allows you to, when your opponent activates a monster effect, target a monster you control that mentions Kingdom of Illusions, negate that opponent's monster effect, then inflict damage to your opponent equal to half the targeted monster's attack. So this, alongside the Kingdom of Illusions and Darkness Chimera, provides you multiple ways to burn your opponent for damage. And finally, we have Dark Absolute, a normal trap that you can activate if you control both Kingdom of Illusions and a monster that mentions it. Sets all cards your opponent controls, then you can special summon from your hand or graveyard one monster that mentions Kingdom of Illusions, so shrouding your opponent's field in darkness. So that does it for the Kingdom of Illusions archetype. Hope you enjoyed, but Spooky Week isn't over just yet, as we got another ghostly duelist just dying for custom support.